Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited about this video. So last video I kind of asked you guys if you guys wanted me to do like a get to know me tag, just so you guys can get to know a little bit more about me. Now that I have some of you guys that consistently watch me, I kind of want to show you guys more of me. So what I did was I just googled some like get to know me questions, and I'm just going to read off of those, and I actually am going to do a little twist. So I'm going to include my nursing school journey and how I got into nursing and how I got into the program and stuff like that. If it's a little too long, I might actually make that a different video. But today I think I'm gonna include just a little bit of like nursing stuff in there, since of course that is a huge part of my life. So yeah, so if you guys would like to get to know a little bit more about me, then just keep on watching. Okay guys, so the first question is gonna be, where am I from? So I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. So I lived there up until I was 11. And then once I turned 11, I was actually going into middle school, and the area that we were at, my parents didn't like that middle school. So they decided to move, and we actually moved to Tampa, Florida. It's like a 4-hour drive from Miami. So we lived there for about 4 years, and then my dad got a transfer to Texas area. So that is where I'm from. Next question is, am I married or do I have a boyfriend? I do have a boyfriend. We have been dating for about a year. I met him, you know, I went to high school with him. Actually, funny story, we went to prom together. When I was a junior, he was a senior. We didn't know each other, and he like started talking to me in the hallway so that I could be his prom date. So I was his prom date, and then we kind of lost touch once he graduated and all that, and we reconnected last year, and we decided to start a relationship, obviously. We've been dating for about a year, and I am gonna start including him in my videos, so I'm really excited for that. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna include him. I might do a boyfriend tag, we'll see, I don't know. Like I told you guys in my last video, I'm still kind of trying to see where I want my videos to go, but of course he's a ginormous part of my life, so yeah. So next question is, how did I get into nursing? So funny story, when I started college, actually like all throughout my childhood, I grew up thinking I was gonna be a lawyer. And I think that I grew up thinking I was gonna be a lawyer just because my dad wanted me to be a lawyer. And he kind of always said, oh, you're gonna be a lawyer, you're gonna be, you know, you're gonna be a lawyer, my daughter's gonna be a lawyer. So I kind of drilled it into my head like, oh, I'm gonna be a lawyer, I'm gonna be a lawyer. So when my freshman orientation came, you know, I signed my pre-plan to be political science, because that's what it was to be a lawyer. I don't remember exactly all the details to that, but yeah, I signed to be like in the political science degree. And in freshman orientation, they kind of moved us all depending on what we wanted to study. And when I went to like my political science thing, that's when I realized that it definitely wasn't for me. Like the first thing that they asked was like, I'll say your name and your first political experience, and like everybody around the room was just like so excited. Like people met the governor, the senators, and like all that. I'm like, I don't even know who our governor is. I don't know any of the senators. Like I don't even know our mayor. So I kind of realized at that point that it really wasn't for me. And so my freshman year of college, I literally had no idea what I wanted to do. My second semester, I kind of dabbled, and I'm like, maybe I could do something in the medical field. And I took a biology course just to take something related to science, and I really enjoyed it. So I started looking into it. I thought about becoming a PA, and looked into becoming a nurse practitioner, a nurse, and all this stuff. So my grandma was actually in the hospital around that time, and I kind of started thinking about, oh, maybe I could become a nurse. And I really enjoyed everything related to it. You know, what the nurses would say when they would come and what they would do is something that I could see myself doing. And I love helping people. I've always loved helping people. So that's kind of how I decided that I wanted to become a nurse. I don't have like a great story, but that's how I decided, and that's how I got into nursing. So that's that. Okay, so what is my biggest accomplishment? I think that my biggest accomplishment is definitely deciding to go into nursing and getting into the nursing program, because that was a struggle. So when I got into the nursing program, of course I cried, because I had been trying. So I know you guys don't know a lot about my nursing journey, my nursing school, or any of that. So when I decided to do nursing, I went to a university that's close by me, and their main degree was nursing. And at the time, I didn't understand, like since I didn't know that I was gonna be a nurse, I kind of decided like my sophomore year. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know the grades you needed to get. I didn't know about nursing school. So I didn't know that you had to basically get straight A's and all that jazz. So, and then the school that I was going to too, which was nursing, because I switched over from my first college to the second college because they had a nursing program. So when I switched over, I started meeting a lot of girls that were also doing nursing. And the more that I talked to them, the more that I realized like, maybe my grades aren't as good as they need to be, because of course my freshman year of college, I'm trying to enjoy, you know what I mean? Like I'm meeting new people and all this stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. Like I got good grades, it was like A's and B's, but it wasn't straight A's, you know what I mean? It was more I was probably more of a B student. Not only that, the university I was going to, they gave like a bump to people that took their prerequisites there. So if you had like 30 credits with their school, you got a bump, which is actually a 0.5 bump on your GPA. So if you had a 3.5, it would jump you up to a 4.0. So considering that, the competition at that school was insane. I think that when I talked to one of the counselors, he told me that about 150 people get accepted into the program and roughly about 700 to 800 people apply, which I truly believe that's true, because I started looking at nursing blogs and stuff and like seeing how hard it was to get into that university, and people were like, if you didn't take all your prerequisites here, it's like impossible to get in, no matter how good your T score was, no matter how good, you know, even if you retake your classes, it's like impossible if you don't have that bump. So that's when I started realizing like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for nursing school. So I started looking around to all the universities in Texas, and I even made a trip with one of my friends that I met in anatomy down to Galveston, and I started looking at, I don't even remember, UTMB, that was the school we went and visited. We went and visited, you know, another school in Houston, and we were just trying to see like what university would probably accept us. So either way, I applied to all those universities, got declined to all of them. My T-score wasn't as good as it could have been either, because I was doing anatomy and physiology 1 and 2 during the summer at that time, and I took A&P 1 and A&P 2 right after each other. They were each 4 weeks, and at the end of anatomy 2, literally finals week, and then Friday or Saturday was my exam. So I finished my finals on like a Thursday. I studied Thursday and Friday, and then my T's was on a Saturday, and I got, I think it was an 80 on my T's, which wasn't terrible for my first time, and it wasn't terrible considering how much I studied for it, but it wasn't up where it needed to be either. And I decided at that point that I wasn't going to, you know, that I needed to see where else I can get into. So I started looking around, I started reading a lot of blogs, I started, you know, looking to see what university would accept me. And at the time, I never knew about an associate's degree in nursing. Like I had, you know, the community college that I went to, that I took like summer classes in and online classes at, they had a nursing program, and I didn't even know. Like, I think my dad had mentioned it to me. Oh, I heard that, you know, this, you know, our community college has a nursing program, and I didn't even consider it because at the time I was really ignorant, I guess. And I thought that, no, like I need to get my bachelor's, like what's the point in getting an associate's? But of course, like I hadn't researched it, I hadn't looked into it, and I had no idea that an associate's degree meant nothing less than a bachelor's. Of course, not considering associates and bachelors, of course there's a difference, but the material that we learn in an associate's degree, you know, in our nursing program is actually the exact same. And I have friends in universities, and everything that we do and everything that they do is exactly the same. The only difference is, and I've researched this too, the only difference is that in bachelor's programs, they do a lot more research and a lot more papers. So once I graduate with my associates in nursing, I can still work at a hospital, and usually, not always, but depending on the hospital, it'll actually pay for you to get your bachelor's. And when you get your bachelor's, it's all online. So when I graduate next December, I'm of course gonna look for a job and hopefully have a job by then. And when I start working at the hospital, I'm just gonna be doing online classes. I think it's about 6 months of online classes, but I'll already be working as a nurse and I'll already be making money. So, and then of course I'll end up with a bachelor's in the school that I've like intended, or what is it called? Declaration of intent that I've done that my school has is to Texas Tech. So my bachelor's degree in nursing will be from Texas Tech. So this was honestly something that I had no idea. And I really wish, looking back, that I would have known this sooner, because I would have been able to get into the program so much earlier. But yeah, I have no regrets, and I am so happy that that's where God led me. There's nothing that I would ever change. Okay, the next question is, what is my favorite TV show? My favorite TV show is Friends, and forever will be Friends. That is like my, oh my God, like I love that show. If you guys watch Friends, let me know. But yeah, there's only one show I could watch for the rest of my life. It would 1,000 and a million and trillion, a bajillion times be Friends. I literally watch that every day and I will never get bored of it. I love it so much. Okay, so the next question is gonna be, do I speak any other language? I do, I speak fluent Spanish. If you guys wanna know where my parents are from, my mom is Cuban. She was born and raised in Cuba, and my dad is Nicaraguan. He was born and raised in Nicaragua. So they both speak Spanish, and they both of course, have taught us Spanish growing up. Not of course, because not everyone speaks Spanish. But they taught us Spanish growing up. That was actually my first language. And living in Miami, growing up in Miami, if you guys have been there, if you guys are from there, you guys know that 100%, everywhere you go, everyone speaks Spanish to you. Like, even the billboard signs are Spanish. Like, it's literally like another country going to Miami, like true Miami, not like South Beach, but true Miami. All Hispanics of every color, like as white as you can get to as dark as you can get. That's exactly how Miami is. So I am fluent in Spanish. The next question is gonna be, how tall am I? I am 5'2". Well, I say I'm 5'2", but no one believes me, so I always say I'm 5'3". But every time I go to the doctors and they measure my height, they always tell me I'm 5'2". So I don't know what everyone's problem is, but everybody thinks I'm a little bit taller or a little bit shorter. So I just say I'm 5'3" and I leave it at that. Next question is, how old am I? I am 22 years old. My birthday is actually in August, so I just turned 22 a couple months ago. Do that. Okay, next question is, where do you want to travel? So a lot of you guys don't know this, but I do travel a lot. Growing up, we traveled everywhere inside of the United States and outside of the United States. I have been to like over 10 countries. But yeah, I've traveled a lot, but somewhere that I haven't been that I really want to go is Thailand. I want to go there because of the elephant sanctuary. Like, I love elephants so much, and I know that there's this one sanctuary, I can't remember what it's called, but it's somewhere where you don't ride elephants and you don't like get on them. They don't believe in trucking, and all you literally do is go and you play with them and you give them baths. And it's like such a genuine place where they really take care of their animals and they really like love them. And I love elephants so much. You know, when I was younger, of course I wanted to ride elephants and stuff, being naive, but once I learned more about how that affects them and how that hurts them and how, you know, they die earlier from all that, I think it's abuse personally. If you don't, that's your opinion, but that's where I want to go. Next question is, do I have any siblings? I do. I have 2 brothers. I have an older brother and a little brother. My older one is 24. My little brother is 20. Next question is, do I have any animals? I do. I have a puppy. I'll insert a picture of her, or maybe like 5 because I'm obsessed with her, but she's just a lab mix. I got her 3 years ago, so she's 3 years old, and she is literally the love of my life. If you know me, you know I'm obsessed with dogs and animals, and like, my baby is my baby. So I'll show you guys pictures, but I do have a dog, and when I'm older, me and my boyfriend have already decided that we're gonna get like 5 dogs. So we're gonna have a bunch of acres to have all our dogs. But yeah, and I don't like cats. I mean, I don't know. My mom doesn't like cats, so I kind of think that I don't like cats, but I think it's just because my mom doesn't like cats. But as a kid, I would always love playing with kittens, so I don't know. Alrighty guys, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and close out today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other questions that you guys would like me to, oh my god. If you guys have any other questions that you guys would like to ask me, then just leave it down below. If you guys want me to do another updated Q&A related to nursing, we can do that as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.